Hello.
Today?
Good. Surprised that I got in. I was very happy to see you were live on YouTube and called.
Right on.
I'm glad you did.
Me too.
Yeah. So what did you want to talk about?
Well, yesterday's tragedy and the things that have been going on have been very emotional, I think, for the country. And it really hit me. I'm 70 years old. I've been an atheist since I was 10. But last night, I actually came out on Facebook using the word, I am proud to be an atheist. And
Bravo.
Brava.
Yeah, brava.
So with religion,
if I clap into the mic, Vern
so,
will be unhappy, but yes.
It's hard because so many people that are calling themselves religious are, if you don't believe like I believe, then I'm going to condemn you. You know, you're hateful. You're a whole horrible person. And coming out, like you said, to the last caller, to people around you, people that you're close to, can be difficult. But actually, I think my friends and, family have known, because I've always sort of voiced my, opinions.
Yeah.
But I never actually came out publicly, as I did last night. And I found it, I know, it's still kind of scary.
Yeah. No, it can be very scary. I'm right there with you. I didn't, when I stopped believing, I didn't know whether or not I should tell some of my family members. There's actually a few people that I still haven't had, like, any kind of conversation with, and I'm not sure that it would be helpful. But, I mean, I'm here doing this show, and my name is Jamie Boone, so I'm pretty much as out as you can be. But it does take courage, and, I applaud you for that. It's phenomenal, it's fantastic, it's helpful, and it's hard. And I, for one, am glad that you took it upon yourself to do that.
Well, I've had a lot of time. I've been laying in a hospital bed in the middle of my family room kitchen for the last 2.5 years.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Because of a very bad broken leg.
My.
And so I've been, had a lot of time to contemplate things and read, investigate. And
got any book recommendations?
Actually, not right off the top of my head. I did read something on in the New Yorker magazine yesterday, a short story, and it's. I don't want to give it away. It's
has a surprise
but
ending.
It's very apropos to the situation of religion and believing things. It's about a small village and what this village does annually as
is this the lottery?
Yes.
Yes. That can be a very poignant story. I also feel like making some comment of, I ask you for book recommendations. You go, well, the New Yorker. Like, all right. Okay, Linda.
Super highbrow.
No. I appreciate it, though. It's good. It is sort of interesting lately, just in the last sort of decade, right? Like, Bones was a very popular show that even my sister watched. And evidently, the main character is an atheist and says so. Right, so it's sort of interesting that representation has sort of come into media now, and now's as good a time as any, and certainly better than most times, to be an atheist in the United States. It's always been great to be an atheist in Sweden, and it's just like being named Sven. So,
I actually spent a great deal of time for several years, my brother passed away. He lived in France, and I had to go there to take care of everything, and made
Sorry for your
several
loss.
trips and stayed there for quite some time. And they have beautiful churches in Europe, but people there are not religious.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's extremely.
They always say, "Oh, we have beautiful churches," but I think what they mean is, "Oh, we have beautiful wedding-having ceremony places," right? Because that seems to be the only thing they do with churches. But yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
No, it's just, and people there seem to be actually more together in their beliefs, how they handle things.
Yeah.
I didn't spend much time in Paris at all.
Well,
and it's true that people there can be very rude. But other parts of France, and when you're in small communities, everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
And when you're a stranger and come into town, everybody knows you, sees you and gossips about you and so forth. But you can kind of quickly pick out, what kind of people you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And just interesting, though, being sort of long-term in another part of the world that doesn't have the background that, America does as, this religious nation.
It can be a real wake-up call. There's I think it might be on Netflix, some documentary where there's like a small town, I don't know if he's a preacher, but a particularly religious and political person from small town America that goes and visits, again, I forget which Nordic country, which makes this story a lot weaker, but and he's just entirely taken aback that the norm that, their Bible Belt where the belief rate is above average is like, well, this is the place where all of the believers are. It's 13% of the population believes, but the national average is 3%. And he's just like blown away. He's like, but that's socialism at one point as well, I think. It's like, yes.
Travel is good.
This is Denmark or wherever it is.
Travel is good.
Travel is good. Well, what I will say is I hope that you join our social media, and I hope, I don't have the live chat up. I should, but I hope that they are expressing the same kind of gratitude for you that I have, which is, yeah, being an out atheist makes it easier for everyone else.
Well, I do want to say one more thing.
Okay.
Because this was a very difficult time a few months ago. My best friends and my husband, who's also deceased now, our best friends for 25 years were a couple that are very religious, born-again Christians. But we were best friends, and we did not verbalize a lot of interaction about religion. Of course, some of it came up, but, we on both sides respected our beliefs.
Yeah.
And so we were best friends, the four of us. A few months ago, though, on Facebook, my friend, she started putting up some very derogatory things about gays. And
that does
my
happen.
brother was gay. My brother was gay. Mm-hmm. And this was very personal for me, the things she was saying, and hurtful. And I let her know this, but it didn't stop. And so I texted them and told them, I'm sorry, but I cannot be hypocritical. I'm dissolving our friendship.
And that's another loss. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope that as much as we can do and as much as the community can do, I mean, online or near you, to help you know that you're not alone, is what we should do. The note says that you came out on Facebook specifically. I know that our Facebook community is actually really strong and actually very large, and I think that you might benefit from engaging there as well. We're nearing the end, and I was told that we shouldn't run too far over, so naturally I've run almost 20 minutes over.
Well, thank you for taking my call,
Jamie. But
it was a pleasure.
Before you go, what I will say is there's this sort of it's almost like a little parable or whatever, which is there's a group of old friends coming together for a reunion. There's a Baptist, a Catholic, a Jewish person, a Hindu, and an atheist, and they just want to get together and have dinner, and they do, and they have a good time because none of them are assholes. And to that degree, I would say have friends based on how good they are at being friends. And I'm sorry that you've suffered the losses in your family to death that you have, and I'm here if you want to talk. And I'm sorry that you suffered the loss of your friends to assholiness.
Yeah, I lost my parents within 6 months of each other, the common thing.
Yeah.
And then my husband within a year, and then my brother within 6 months of my husband.
Damn.
And
yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I had a great deal of loss on me all at one time. Yeah. And I actually had someone then steal $200,000 from me too.
Oh my gosh.
And things. But I never was, like they say, where we all believe in God, when we're in the
and you're just angry.
Whatever. I never went there.
Right.
It was never necessary.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't what the losses needed.
Right.
And I used to tell people that, yes, it hurt. It hurt a lot losing these important people in my life. But it was a precious pain because I loved them.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
The joy outweighs all that pain. It just, the pain is more acute, it seems.
Yeah. And I have to say again, if it will be any consolation, I know exactly how strong and caring our Facebook community is. Join us there. And I do like to end on a light note, and so I have to say I'm kind of glad that you didn't also have pets, because there's only so much loss or whatever. I don't know. It's a hard situation, and it's one that I can't even make a pun about. So, but you sound like a strong person who's finding your way through it, and that's more than I can say I would be able to do.
I am, and if I can just get this damn leg to work, I'll be a lot happier.
Yeah. Well, I think we're gonna let you go because
Thanks for calling, Linda.
Thank you for calling, Linda, and
do
keep in touch. My heart goes out to you.
Strength, love, and courage to you.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, thank you.
Hers sounds better, but yeah. All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap this up. Thanks for calling, Linda.
Take care.
Okay.
Oh, dang it! I hung up in the middle of her saying a thing. Well, yeah. I do have to say I'm glad that she didn't also have a menagerie of pets that went one at a time. But if that was written in a fictional story, people would be like, oh, that's unrealistic. No, you're laying it on too thick. But it's reality, so.
Yeah.
In any case, I don't know whether you had anything else you wanted to.
Nope. I'm good.
And no guilt trip, but how well do you know our sign-off here?
Fairly well.
Oh, okay.
Fairly well. And